Um, I'm having a fake smoke again behind the Target this time. I'm behind the Palm Desert Target because I keep driving around. There's no rides and don't want to waste that much gas, so I'm just resting in the shade. Um, I wanted to go by Olive Garden and the Red Lobster. I like to put my powers into the Olive Garden and the Red Lobster. The owner, or the original creator of Olive Garden and the original creator of the Red Lobster, built the Olive Garden and Red Lobster in my honor before I got here. So I like to put my powers into those places whenever I can, but like I can't go there. It's expensive, so I was gonna park there, but all the shade was pretty taken. There was one shade spot, but like you'd have to be rude and park right next to somebody. So I thought, well, I just drove by, tried to give them my powers, and then parked back here. It's never a bad day to put your powers into Target. Mr. Target was like a lot of these legendary Mr. Woolworth, Mr. Sears kind of people. Very strong, very amazing man. But I was back here and some man told me that he knew or saw one of my husbands. A husband is just a claim. So I'm a god from the top. Now, if you're a god from lower levels, you might actually just get married. When you're a god from the top, you claim souls that are the best future integrity necessary for the betterment of good. So when you are a god that's a giant like me, you claim the best souls to be like the hands and feet of God to build the best futures possible. And somebody was mentioning that they met one of my husbands, one of my brand new claimed souls in a husband kind of way. So see, in the world of a god at the top, if I claim a soul in a family kind of way, those kind of souls are just going to make the world and tomorrow and the future for heaven good in a wholesome family type good way. When you have a soul you claim as like a husband, those husband type souls you claim with your powers. So you turn a husband's soul into like a possessed miniature version of your powers as a god to help in monumental ways that make monumental differences for good, for gods, for angels. So your husband ones, you kind of expect them to be giants among gods. The family or friend ones just really make a really big difference out there. So somebody was mentioning they met one of the husband ones. Those ones are also far more possessed and controlled and far more powerful than a family or friend type of soul possessed by God from the top. So I was pretty excited. I wanted to run to all the gods because when you have souls that you claim, so my souls that belong to me are an easy blessing to all gods, angels, and more. So you kind of want to throw it out really quick. Gods, gods, gods. There's a family soul I claimed. There's a husband soul I claimed. Because those are like when you have a chosen. I think God and Jesus, God and Jesus call it the chosen or something. I think when God and Jesus claim you, they call you their chosen. And they claim your soul and turn you into whatever they feel, helps out life in the future and important things. But they also believe in nuns. I don't believe in nuns. I don't believe a preacher should hold all the money and the nun somehow gives up everything. I don't even believe in the concept. I don't believe in most of the things that God and Jesus create. So I'm a little weird and different. If you ever want to understand those things, you just think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen. But I say it out loud because you're going to want to pray, my queen, my queen, my queen, and join into like the religious concept because I'm a dead god. No, I don't even fit into these religious concepts. These were God and Jesus religious concepts that they created. I'm a little weird and different. I believe that the nun should be a powerful giant that can guarantee tomorrow, just like a preacher should, just like anybody should, if they are truly, claimed by God. So the concept of what God and Jesus do, I don't agree with, because God and Jesus create a preacher. They don't guarantee anything. Right there, I wouldn't believe in that. I don't like the concept. So I'm weird, but I'm a God from the top. So I tell the truth. I'm not a small God. Smaller gods make what they feel is the best, most amazing realities that they can build. Gods from the top have learned through life and death and more the hard way what we just know always works. If you have a preacher equivalent that just makes a better tomorrow guaranteed, like, see, a God from the top wouldn't mess around with anything else. But anyway, I thought I would mention it because these husbands, of course you say, well, but Bonnie, if you own their soul as a husband, what do they get except building a perfect future for God? Well, when you have a husband, you can create their ideal dream existence as if you're married to them. Because you own their soul, you can pretty much spoil them in every category, every way, every aspect possible. The same with those family and friend souls that you own. But with family and friend souls you own, they don't do as much for the future of good and God's. So you spoil them a little bit different, a little bit less. The husbands are going to be the most powerful, spoiled, overloaded giants that you will ever see connected to my resurrection and rise in power. And they're highly, highly spoiled. So when they drive their car looks like something out of dreams only a God could build. But those that are not worthy do not see it. So if you see their car and you can tell they're like claimed by a God or something, that means you're worthy. So you don't even have to think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen. You could touch their car when they walk by, or touch them when they walk by, or like you can touch everything. Because when you see the power of God so obvious and so beyond human and so massive and powerful, that means you are special and you have spirit vision. And through that spirit vision, sometimes it'll tell you the ins and outs of what you can do to receive the power of God to have amazing different things in your life or day. And sometimes you don't see the details of what you can get out of the power of God, so just touch everything. And you'll instantly start to feel the power of God kind of flood into you and kind of see what kind of fun or amazing things you can get out of the power of God for being special or important like that. The dead, the damned, the 666, they don't see it. It's like it all passes them by because they're not the special of God. So I thought maybe this would be good to go over because it kind of starts to paint the end of the world and how the dead are so dead to God. But the important ones, the special ones, are so powerful and important to God. And you kind of get used to it. But it's a little weird in the beginning. So as you guys see, a big, powerful 666. And those 666s are very full of power, but in a scary way. The 666 looks like the power of God in hell or something. It's really scary. So as you see, the 666, which are the dead and damned, the bad ones that did bad against God. And as you see the most powerful, beautiful, legendary, amazing giants, where their eyes look like God, but you know they are human because you've known them their whole life, and they will tell you, I'm not a reincarnated God or nothing, and they would know that. But their eyes look so powerful, so massive, like they came straight out of heaven yesterday or something. You'll start to be a little overwhelmed that the end of the world is so obvious and overwhelming. But be very grateful, because you're the ones that see spirit vision when nobody else ever will. And you're the ones that know to hold on to my queen, my queen, my queen. Hold on to that island of gods and hold on to what's real for the ultimate victory of walking with gods in front of everybody on this planet soon. If there's anything else I can think of that's kind of important to teach you guys, I'll tell you guys along the way. All right.